Hey folks, welcome to episode 001, the inaugural episode of the Rhubarb Travelers podcast. I am Blake. I'm here with Damon.
But hold on a second. So if it's 001, there's only going to be 999 episodes ever? I mean, you're already setting us up for failure from day one, right? I don't know if I like that.
All right.
Maybe, I guess with every 2 weeks, right? So that would be a very long time.
Yeah. I'll just say one. All right. I'll go 001. All right.
Okay. We can go 001.
I'll probably just from now on, just say 2, 3, 4, but I don't.
You wanted to feel official. You wanted to feel very mathy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine. I mean, so yes, this is our new podcast, Rhubarb Travelers. It came about in a interesting way. I'm just going to say this once. It's more about how the way the situation was handled. Think about it like this. You go away to college. Yeah, you talk to your parents occasionally. Yeah, you kind of feel like some things are different, but you really can't put your finger on it, right?
Right.
Come home for Thanksgiving, go to put your key in the front door. Guess what? It doesn't work. You call your parents. They tell you, oh, yeah, we moved. We forgot to tell you. Sorry. Oh, and by the way, we sold all your stuff and kept the money. You're on your own now. Good luck.
Ow.
So we'll leave it at that. But, on to bigger and better things. This is kind of what we're doing. There's going to be a lot of the same, right? This is a DVC podcast at heart. We are going to give you more real world tips. Again, I've had DVC now for the whole extent of my kid's life, and my oldest one is now almost 22. So I've been through all the different stages of DVC. So I think that's a good thing.
Right.
We are going to talk about regular Disney news. We're going to talk about other things in our after show. So we decided to separate this out a little bit so that if you really are only here for Disney, that's okay, right? You can listen to the beginning part of the show. And when it gets to the after show, which I think there's going to be like music and a cut, I'm hopeful that
that'll be in post.
Yeah. And you can kind of just tune out if you want, or if you want to listen to things about Universal or Dollywood or some other, kind of things that are going on, you're more than welcome to do that as well. We just felt like that was a little bit better for our listeners. The other thing we're going to do, think about this. It's funny when, Rhubarb, we'll go over this story at some point, probably not this episode. But the other thing it makes me feel like is it makes me feel very Fraggle Rock sort of, right?
Traveling,
right? It's like, that's what it makes me feel like. So the one thing we are going to do, if you join our group, right? We do have a Facebook group, Rhubarb Travelers, and then there's a page for the podcast, Rhubarb Travelers Podcast. If you join them, we will be handing out pins at some point when we make pins for like who's had the coolest vacation in the past couple months.
We're going to have swag, so.
We will have swag, right? I mean, our goal really is just to kind of give back to everybody and make sure that we have some cool stuff. So that's what we're about. We'll kind of, go over some of our other stories that, kind of need to be brought back up. But I think the first thing I want to talk about is my parents are going to Disney next week.
All right. So are you going with them, or is it?
No, I'm not. Too? So they're going, on their own with some of their friends, and it's been interesting, right? Because things have changed a little bit. So, they went to get their ride passes, and it was just turned into a disaster. They tried to get into, what is that thing called? Beacon Barrel, whatever that is. That was a no-go.
The new bar.
Yep. That was a no-go. They couldn't get in. So they'll try to like swing by and see if they can get in. But they couldn't do that. But they did do that $99 thing where, what is that? Like where like you can kind of get some special access to things. I forget what it's called now. See, this is where we need Blake to be just,
What? You're
Wait, do you even have DVC? That's the question. I don't even think you do you?
Not yet.
He said not yet.
Yet.
Oh, this is terrible.
You know what? I have to await permission from the Queen. So, I'm working on it day by day. Trust me.
Okay, there you go. So, again, they're going for a couple of days. They can't ride the rides that they used to, just health reasons, being older and things like that. So they kind of plan their trip a little differently. But,
right.
I'm kind of curious to see how, they enjoy it. They focus a little bit more on food and shows nowadays, which I don't think is bad, right? As you get older, that's okay.
Right. Do you think they could have benefited from a travel agent helping them out? This is called foreshadowing, folks.
Yeah. I'm not sure because they, when you have DVC, you're kind of good, right? Like you don't necessarily need a travel agent when you have DVC. Now, if you don't have DVC, it's a different story. I mean, I use a travel agent as well for, our upcoming trips as well as our cruises, just so everyone's aware. So again, I'll kind of get some interesting information when my parents come back. So figure by next show, I'll have an update on, what they did. I know they want to ride Dinosaur though. I know that for a fact. I tell them, I think you forget how rough that ride really is.
I have to go to the chiropractor every time I get off that ride.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I think that there's just some nostalgia there for that ride in general, right? Because that was a big ride when my kids were growing up. And, it kind of in the beginning stages, we went without my parents. And then in the middle stages, like where my kids were like, somewhere between, let's say my oldest one maybe was like 6 to 12, we kind of went with them. And then as they got a little bit older, we went by ourselves again. So there's a lot of dinosaur trips with the whole family. So I think there's some nostalgia there. So I think for everyone else, the other thing too is, if we do have a Patreon link, we are looking just for some really just funding to help us get the show going. That's it. Right. That's all we're really looking for.
Hosting the show isn't free. So there is a small fee associated with that. So anything you folks could throw our way, we would definitely appreciate it.
And eventually we'll offer some exclusive things. Like I said, we need to get some shows under our belt here.
Yeah.
So, we will kind of tinker a little bit with the show layout as well as, kind of what people think. But I think the first thing we're going to do is start with DVC news and tips.
Yep.
I think that, I don't know what tips Blake can get, obviously, since, he's going to have to look them up. He's going to have to ask Google for tips.
It's called research.
So for me, the one thing I do want to say, I think this has always kind of been at the forefront of my feeling about DVC. I know some people don't necessarily think I love Disney. And, I definitely loved Disney while the kids were growing up. We're at a different point in our life. I will tell you this though, buying into DVC doesn't necessarily only have to be about Disney. There's other things that happen. So for us, it was, this upcoming year and last year, my daughter had tennis camp. We stayed at, a Disney resort. When we wanted to go to Universal, because here's the other thing too, when you head to Universal and you're like, oh, that first night I'm going to be paying for a hotel and I'm not even going to be going to the parks. Don't do it.
Right.
Stay in your DVC the night before, which is what we did. Right. And that was great. I think the other thing is you're going on a cruise. You have to be there the day before the cruise, right? You don't want to be driving up to the port and, get flat tire or something happens. So using it there and maybe even after the cruise. So when you come off a cruise, you're coming off at like, gosh, I think we were off by
9 o'clock in the morning.
It was 7:20. We were off the boat this time. It was very early, and maybe you don't want to drive home right away. You use your Disney hotel. Those are all things to use it for. And I think the other thing that people don't necessarily think about is sports. So again, I kind of mentioned tennis, but there's cheer, there's volleyball, there's
baseball,
even, swim for us, to go to down there and stay there. If you have to go to one of these events, it's also very helpful in terms of money. So I think that, people can't think it's just necessarily about going to Disney. It has to be a little bit more. I mean, if you've ever tried to stay somewhere else in Orlando, it's expensive. This is something that's nice. You know what you're going to get. Not like the last time we went to the neighbor hotel and it was not what we expected. There's something that kind of, as people will say, keeps you in the bubble. So I think that was it.
Hey, have you ever, speaking of sports, have you ever been in the parks when there's been a cheerleading event?
I have been.
Yeah, that's an experience.
Yeah,
all to itself.
Yes, it definitely is. So I guess Blake is going to tell us a little bit here about some of the refurbishments that are going on.
Right. So the main thing going on with DVC right now is, of course, always refurbishments. The Grand Flow has their main lobby. It is slowly but surely getting completed. The walls are still up right now, but they hopefully will be coming down soon. That is, of course, to make way for that new bar that is coming into the lobby. The other refurb news we've got going on is Copper Creek over at Animal Kingdom Villas is almost finished. And I've thrown a picture, Damon. I don't know if you...
Wait. What is Copper Creek at Animal Kingdom Villas?
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, I think so, a little bit.
All right. So Copper Creek is almost finished. Yeah. Copper Creek is almost finished. Okay. I've thrown a picture of one of the new rooms into the show notes. And folks, we're going to be posting the show notes, so you'll be able to see this. What do you see? Does something like jump out at you about that room, Damon? I'm just curious. It jumped out at me immediately.
No.
Okay, so here's what jumped out to me. If you change out a little bit of those furnishings, you have the Polynesian studio room right there. Like it literally looks exactly the same, except without all of the Polynesian furnishings. So in a way, I think that's, a little concerning because, right, they're making cookie cutter rooms. It seems like,
I don't necessarily mind that. Like I said, I mean, as for me, I'm not too concerned about that. I am, though, looking at your notes where we have some Lakeshore Lodge construction still going on.
Right. And there's another picture of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I feel like I'm going to have to buy there, like just because of Haunted River Country. Another one of my great ideas. But I think I'm just going to have to buy over there just because. I don't know how many points I need. Right now I'm at 450. I feel like I could use a little bit more. Just because, it sounds like a lot, but then we were talking about like going somewhere for a week. And as, again, my kids have significant others. Well, all of a sudden you're at a 3-bedroom and then it's like, 450, not really enough for a week in a 3-bedroom at some places.
I was just getting ready to ask with your current staying style, how much can you get out of 450 points?
Oh, I mean, it really just depends. Like, it depends what we're doing. Again, if I go down to tennis this year, I think what we'll do is we'll probably do a 2-bedroom because we're going to do over 4th of July and me and my daughter will go down first. And then my wife and my 2 boys will probably come down for a short stay. So we'll just kind of jam into a 2-bedroom, which is fine. Right. But if we were to stay all week and kind of do stuff, I would say that we would probably do 3-bedroom. Well, we typically are doing 3-bedrooms at this point. So it just depends where we stay. I mean, some places we can't even stay a week on that. I mean, some of the other places I think are like 300 for, 300 and something for Saratoga or,
Key West.
Yeah. So it really just depends. It's enough for now, but I feel like as more people come into the family, it will be time for some more.
Okay. The only other piece of DVC news that I have today is about average resale price. And folks, if you don't know, Damon kind of looks down on the whole resale thing. So this is just from me. Okay. So for average resale price, it's increased now for the 3rd consecutive month in a row. There is historically low inventory on all of the resale sites. And for the first time ever, Disney actually executed a ROFR on a Riviera contract. So I don't know what that says about the resale market, but if they're executing on Riviera, it's interesting.
Riviera is nice. Like, I understand it has stipulations around it, but it's so nice that sometimes you kind of got to look past that a little bit.
Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after this word from our sponsor. We'd like to welcome our inaugural sponsor to the show, Don'tResistTheTravel.com. Folks, vacation travel should be exciting, memorable, and most importantly, completely stress-free. Ha! Right. However, as we all know, planning that perfect trip for you and your family can be anything but that. And that's where the folks at Don't Resist the Travel come in and save the day. Whether you're traveling with your family and want a vacation that's fun, effortless, and full of memories, or you're looking for a luxury escape with VIP experiences, private tours, and hand-picked resorts, the folks at Don't Resist the Travel handle every detail just for you. When you work with Don't Resist the Travel, you don't just book a trip, you build an experience that's truly tailored to your personal needs. So don't resist. You know you want to travel. Visit Don'tResistTheTravel.com and start planning your next unforgettable getaway today. And make sure to let them know the guys at Rhubarb Travelers Podcast sent you. That's Don'tResistTheTravel.com. And we're back. All right. So at this point in the show, we're going to do some listener questions. We only have one. This is from Chris R. Congratulations, Chris. You are the very first person with a question ever for the podcast. You can hold that badge of honor forever. So Chris R. says, if you were to sell your contract, is there a price point that you would not go below, or would you be willing to take what you are offered if it seems fair? Well, in my mind, there's always a price where you say, no, I'm not doing that. So the question is, what is that? What is that for you?
I don't, it's very difficult because the problem is I like having it, right? Like, and I don't necessarily need the money. So I don't know if there's really a price point. I mean, listen, if you start offering me more than it costs to buy new, yeah, right. Obviously that's crazy talk, right? But like, right. Even if you're offering me close to what it is to buy new, like I'm still not selling. So for me, as crazy as it sounds, it would have to be over the cost of a new contract at this point.
Right.
For me to want to sell.
And historically, if you look at it over the years, prices have gone up on your contract. So the longer you keep it, there's a good chance that could happen. Right. So,
well, I mean, I'm sure it's worth, I could sell it for more than I bought it for, but it would have to be being sold for more than what new contracts are for, which is not going to happen, right? That would make no sense. So really the short answer here is I don't think there necessarily is a price because it just doesn't make sense for me. I just utilize it too much.
Right.
Again, like we're out of points. Like I'm waiting, for December for my yearly points and we're going to use them again. So I get use out of my points.
Remind me, do you have all of your points at the same place or are they spread out?
No, I have Saratoga and Riviera.
Okay.
250 and whatever the 200? Math is on that. Yeah, something like that. I feel like more though. I don't know. I might have more than that. I might have 250 and 270. I don't know. I don't even know. Like I don't even pay attention.
You got points coming out of the ears, man. You got some.
I got 4 contracts.
Oh my gosh.
Not as much as a lot of people have. So I'll be honest with you, but that's okay. But again, for me, this is just I like my points. I use them a lot. I don't think there'd be any time where I'd be willing to sell them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to some park news. All right. The only thing we're going to talk about really from last week, and folks, like we said earlier, this is going to be a show that happens every 2 weeks. So we're going to have some news that occurred the week before always. And so this part is there. The only thing we're going to talk about right now is the Skyliner is going to be undergoing some brief maintenance. It's not going to happen until January. So you've got some time to plan for that. It's going to be January 25 through January 31, which is traditionally one of the lower attendance times of the parks. So you should be able to mitigate that quite a bit. So, let's move on to breaking news. This was just announced yesterday. So the ink is still wet on it. Disneyland Abu Dhabi. That castle is going to incorporate water as one of its major themes. And Zach Ridley, one of the Imagineers, got on, I believe it was Instagram, and said that for the first time, water is going to be used in the design of the castle itself and not just an extra feature like the moats around the other castle or things like that. So
I like this.
I do too.
First of all, I love water just in general, right? Like, so anything that incorporates water, plus you can do so many cool things with water. I think that, there'll be a lot of like sort of shooting water is my guess, things like that. But I think this is pretty awesome.
I mean, and at nighttime, the ability to project on those screens of water, kind of like Phantasmic, I'm sure they'll do something like that. I wonder if they're going to have something where there are, I don't want to say clear walls. Like, I feel like somehow the water will be inside the walls.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But
I mean, if you look at the kind of the drawings they have around it, man, it does look interesting.
Yeah. It's going to be a bucket list, and also people think, well, Abu Dhabi, it's the desert, it's over there. Why would they waste water? Abu Dhabi is actually on the coast. It is a city on the coast. So it's not out of place to have a water element there. So should be pretty interesting.
When is this park even, is there any dates for this?
Oh,
I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. They're not even close enough to be able to.
That would be interesting though. I look forward to that. I don't know if I'll ever make it there, but I'll see pictures. I'll see video.
It'll definitely be a bucket list item. Let's see. What else? D23 announced that the Walt Disney World will be getting its own Walt Disney animatronic. It's going to be put in Carousel of Progress. It is going to be in the introductory scene that you see at the very beginning.
And with all things Disney, it will take 2 years to do that.
Right. It's or as we say, a half of a Tron. Right. We measure things in Tron timeline.
I mean, this is definitely good. I think it's needed. I just don't know why it's going to take so long. I mean, I guess they're going to do some updates in general.
Right.
So,
well, they've announced it's going to be in 2027. You can't see me, but my fingers are doing the air quotes, 2027, right?
Yeah.
So it could be the beginning. It could be the end. Obviously they're going to have to install Walt. They will. I mean, that entire first introductory scene is going to have to be reconfigured. So.
Mm-hmm. I don't even go that often to Carousel of Progress.
Sorry for the dad joke here, but I've come around on that, right? So I used to like, oh my gosh, why is this still here? And now I kind of enjoy it. The song gets
It's a place
stuck
to
in my head.
relax. It's a place to sit down, right?
Good old air conditioning for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. Let's see. Moving on.
Next item, this is hurtful.
I know.
Dinosaur.
I know. And I hope your folks make it there in time. So
yeah, they're going to be there next week. So they'll be covered.
So final day for Dinosaur the Ride is going to be February 2, 2026. So if you want to get that ride in, you need to go make your reservations now. Also, the last day for character meet and greets in Dinoland, in their Dinoland costumes, is going to be the day before, February 1. So I believe it's Chip and Dale. I think Minnie is there. I think Donald Duck also. Can't remember.
And so we're getting Indiana Jones, right?
Correct. So also the Encanto house.
So let's just talk about Indiana Jones for a second. This is just so funny to me. So, I go up to visit my son for soccer, and he's taking a film class, okay?
Okay.
And in his film class, they have to watch Indiana Jones. I think they watched the second one.
Right.
Cool. Okay, no problem, right? He's, we're kind of talking about how did you like it? Yeah, it was good. But here's the thing. So if he hadn't had a film class, he never would know anything about Indiana Jones.
What?
And crazy, right?
You didn't make him watch that as a kid?
No, Goonies had to take precedent, right? Like my kids were getting to the point where they were like, listen, it's different from when we were growing up where there wasn't a lot to watch. So you could say, hey, go watch this. Like I tell my kids to go watch something and they'll be like, nah, maybe. Like, because there's just so much out there, right, for them to watch. So no, they had never seen it. So that's the thing for me. Like, I just don't love this. Everyone loves dinosaurs. I mean, listen, Indiana Jones is a great series, but like, series of movies and some of the shows, but like, man, I don't know. I just thought it was funny that like he really wouldn't have known anything about it unless he had this film class.
Right. So, I wonder how much, of the Indiana Jones ride out in Disneyland is going to get copied over, because the track for Dinosaur is the exact same track that they use for the Indiana Jones out in Disney.
Yeah. I'm more excited for, the America's Land, the Tropical America's Land, to be honest with you. But again, it seems like 2027, there's going to be a lot of stuff cooking.
A lot going on in 2020, almost too much. Like, I'm going to be interested to see how much of this they actually.
I don't think it's all going to open at the same time. I think it's going to be spread throughout the year, which is going to make it difficult. Like, when do you want to actually go? What are you going to be looking forward to? But I think that, there'll be, our next trip will be in 27, I'm guessing. We're in 25 now. Yeah, 26. I don't think we have. Well, I'll be down there, but I don't think we'll actually be going to the parks. We might, leading into the next thing, we might actually go to Magic Kingdom. We haven't been there in a long time. Like when we have gone the past couple of times, we just gone to Epcot.
Right.
And I think that, Tron and Tiana's will force us over to Magic Kingdom. So Tron's getting an overlay.
Right. Wait a minute. Before we move on to Tron overlay, one other thing about the dinosaur, if you are a big character meet and greet dinner or breakfast person, Restaurantasaurus, the restaurant, they are going to be ending as well. That will also occur right around that same time of February too. So if you want to see all the characters in their get-ups while you're eating, make those reservations now at how do you say Restaurantasaurus. There you go. It's a
There
mouthful.
you go.
All right. Moving on to Tron overlay. So we're going to go from the traditional blue-orange teams, and they're going to make one of them the red team. It's going to be red and orange. All right. This is all about to support the Tron Ares movie coming out. From what I've heard, okay, so from folks that have done test screenings, this is actually going to be a good Tron movie. All right. And I'm excited.
What does that even mean? I think I watched the OG Tron. I played the game in the arcade that had the special stick, right?
Right.
And then I was out of Tron. I'm done with Tron. I don't think I've seen any other Tron since then.
Oh, it's such a great premise. And I really want this third movie to hit. I feel like Tron deserves a good movie. It's a great concept. I hope they get it. Best part is that the overlay is going to include some Nine Inch Nails soundtrack. I just saw them in concert about a week ago, so I'm excited about that. That all starts on September 15th, which is going to be about 4 days from when this podcast released. So if you're going down anytime soon. Yeah, go ahead.
I like it. I mean, it's just, I'm not a Nine Inch Nails guy, right?
Right.
I'm not really a Tron guy, but I think it's still cool for overlays. I think a lot of rides should have overlays. I think that's an easy way to kind of bring something a little different.
Spice it up, like they do with Space Mountain, with the Star Wars overlay every now and then.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's see what. Let's move over to Disney Hollywood Studios. They are installing the footers now for the Monsters, Inc. attraction. So that attraction is going to span, believe it or not, 103,000 square feet. It is going to be the second largest building at Walt Disney World in Florida, only behind Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And I've posted a picture in the show notes. And if you look at that outline, if you were to kind of imagine that outline of that building and move it over into Star Wars land over there in the upper right of the corner, that building pretty much takes up the city part of Batu, if that makes sense. Like, it's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope it's good. It
I
could
hope
be
it's
big and not good, and that would be bad. Like, I have a good feeling about this, though.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it's a hanging coaster, I think is going to be nice.
It just needs to be different. Again, I always preach this, is like, give me something different. Just make it just a little bit different, something new, some sort of new technology that is right in your face. You know what I mean? That like makes a big difference. So I'm hopeful that that's what we're going to get here.
Right.
Yeah. So we will try to get guests on the show as well. We do have opportunity to get different kinds of guests. So we will make that a point. We want to get a couple shows under our belt first before we start inviting people to the mess, right? Let's make sure we're in order here. And then we will make sure that we get some guests on the show.
Right. All right. So as we wrap up, before we go to the after show, please go visit don'tresistthetravel.com. Let them handle every detail in creating and planning your next extraordinary getaway. Listen to us on all your podcast streamers and rate us. If we are not on your favorite platform, please drop us a message in Facebook and we will do our best to get set up on that platform. While you're at it, please go to Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star rating and review us. Now, in the review part, you can say whatever, but just make sure you put 5 stars, okay? It helps out the show tremendously when you leave that rating. Damon mentioned earlier, we do have a Patreon, so please go to Patreon, look up Rhubarb Travelers Podcast. We will be the only one, I promise you, right? With that name.
Make sure you know how to spell rhubarb.
Yeah.
It's harder than you think. I will tell you, I am not going to lie. I had to put a request into Facebook as I created the podcast page because I did spell it wrong myself. And I was like, oh, this is terrible.
It's time for the after show.
So here's where we're going to talk about some things like kind of outside of Disney. And the first thing we want to talk about is Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. I'm so upset I can't go. And here's my situation. My boys are in college. They just don't have the time to go.
Right.
And it's hurtful because like I even said, oh, what if we went down on a Friday and came back on a Sunday? And they're like, absolutely not. You know, they are not that much about it, but I loved Fallout, and the fact that there's Fallout here, I missed out on Stranger Things, but like Fallout for me was, I think Fallout is, again, I'm sure people are not going to love this, but I think Fallout was better than Stranger Things. I mean, we haven't seen the end of Stranger Things, but Fallout's darn good.
Yeah, I saw Fallout, but I never saw Stranger Things. So, and I really enjoyed Fallout. I mean, it was good. So it would be worth it. Is your daughter into that?
We're going to have to get a new host now.
Oh, whatever.
You said you haven't seen Stranger Things?
I have not. Yeah, I gotta, you know, I have to ration my TV time. I got to pick the things that I think will interest me.
So. Oh, I mean, it's good that you saw Fallout. I mean, it's very good. So yeah, I'm a little upset about that, but I know that once my boys are out, so next, let's see, I got 2 years and then we're going to do the Halloween. Gosh, I can't say it's Halloween Horror Nights.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah,
now,
we're going to be doing it.
Now, is your daughter into the horror thing?
No, absolutely not. Nor is my wife. As you know the story.
You got kicked out.
Yeah. So we're actually going to be trying to find a new place this year. The place we wanted to go to had some damage and they're not going to be open until after my boys are back to school. So my boys both have a weekend where it's, they have Monday off. Right. And we usually go on that Sunday, but you know, this place isn't going to be open. So we're in the hunt for something new. Woods of Terror is great. We're just not going to go back, right? We've been a few times. So we're going to try something new this year. Hollywood Horror Nights, which is Hollywood Horror, which is by us. We also been to a bunch of times. So we're going to find something new. Blake put in here holidays at Universal.
Right. So it's Christmas time at Universal. It's going to run from November 21 to January 4. The only reason I put this in here is because the Christmas at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, I think that would be kind of cool to attend.
Yeah, I think that would be cool as well. Again, I think these are dates that I'm going to start seeing once the kids are out of school, right? Because this makes more sense to go during this time when, you know, it's not as super packed and there's kind of different things to do with all the holidays and stuff. So that's cool. The other thing to talk about here is Dollywood. So we are going to be planning our Dollywood trip. Again, I got to bring 9 people. So we got to get like 3,000 rooms or whatever the case may be, but they should have a new ride next year and people are guessing on what it's going to be like, but I'm excited. I think it's going to be something different and new. So we will be going there over the summer. I just have to make sure that we plan it. We're going to go in August. So hopefully it won't like open in October or something. That would be just absolutely terrible. I think we'll be good for the summer. So kind of stay tuned as we continue to follow up on that. Yeah.
So they haven't announced anything about this new ride yet?
There's some announcements, right? And they're already building. It's an inside dark ride.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. So it should be interesting. I also saw recently some awards that, you know, Dollywood won a bunch of awards. So did Universal.
Right.
This year.
Dollywood got, if they didn't get the top spot, they got close to the top spot of best theme park, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is such a great place. And everyone that I send there, and they're like, no. I'm like, dude, just go once and then tell me. And they love it.
I will tell you. So I've told this story to Damon, right? I went to Dollywood about 5 years ago. And from what I remember of Dollywood, I'd actually never been to Dollywood, but my grandparents went like to the old school, right? Mm-hmm. The old school Dollywood. So in my mind, Dollywood was for a bunch of old people to go listen to country music, right? But we went there, and I have to say, I was blown away by their roller coasters. They have some top-notch roller coasters at Dollywood. If you have never been, just like Damon told his friend, you need to go one time and splurge for the whatever they call their express pass.
All you have to do is stay at the hotels, and you get it for free. Time saver, I think. It's called time something.
Right.
Yeah. It's worth it. Minecart is a different sort of ride. I love that one. Lightning Rod is a little bit of a shell of what it used to be. I hate to say it, but still a great coaster. Wild Eagle, very good as well.
Yeah, Eagle's the one. It's the one where you're
out on the wings.
Out on the wings, yeah.
Oh. It's such a smooth coaster. It was probably the first magnetic coaster that we rode that was that smooth. Really was.
The first time I rode that was at night. And we went up that first hill, right? Mm-hmm. And right as we got to the top, they started their nightly fireworks. So
that's funny. Yeah.
It looked like the fireworks were right in your face. When it was amazing.
That's cool. The only thing I miss about Dollywood is they used to have zip line over the park, which they no longer have. So that's the disappointment. But there are a lot of great zip lines there. Again, the whole area is very well done, right? It's not just Dollywood. There's a lot to do there. Last time we went, we didn't even go to Dollywood, and we still didn't get everything done that we wanted to. So, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg in general, there's a lot of fun stuff to do. So, all right, everyone, this is our first episode. Like I said, you'll have to bear with us as we kind of find our footing.
Yep.
Blake has never put together show notes before. I think you did okay.
I did okay. Yeah.
Okay.
A little stumble. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Rookie season.
I think we need some more. We need more Disney news next time.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to, right? We'll definitely kind of work it in and kind of get some more news. But I think a solid effort on the first, kind of go around. So everyone, like I said, join the group. I will tell you that in the group, you make a post, people will interact with you. I think that's a good thing in our group.
Yes.
And I think that, as we continue to grow, things will kind of even get better from there. So.
All right, folks.
If you need anything else from us, you can always find us at, rhubarbtravelers@gmail.com?
Right. Rhubarb Travelers Podcast at gmail.com.
Podcast.
Yeah. Rhubarb Travelers Podcast at gmail.com.
We do have a website that's I'm in the midst of it. So it should be done hopefully soon. But you can go there and just kind of laugh at, as I work on it.
Right.
Feel free.
404.
No, it's never a 404. It's up and running, but it is not fully complete yet. I am continuing to work on it, so we'll kind of see how it goes.
Right. And then in addition to the website, we are on all of the social media outlets. So we are on X or Twitter or whatever they're calling it this week. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, obviously. So please go follow us on all of the socials. It helps us out quite a bit. So
thank you, everybody.
All right. See you in 2 weeks, everyone. Folks, the Rhubarb Travelers podcast is for entertainment purposes only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company or NBC Universal, the parent company of Universal Studios. And as such, all opinions expressed on the show are exclusively our own. Please consult a DVC or Disney cast member or Universal team member for more information about anything we might have talked about today.